What's up, guys? Welcome to Blue Presents a podcast where I discuss all things music and how it affects my life. And today on my show, I have Ryan Ibarra of the band Worm Shepherd. He talks about, his journey from being a California kid to moving to Connecticut to be closer to his family. He also talks about his relationship with Mark from Seconds from Disaster, as well as he talks about the incredible lineup that he has now with Worm Shepherd, man. And those guys, I'm telling you, man, if you guys don't check those guys out, man, they're going to blow up before you know it, man. And you're going to be like, who were those guys? Was that band he was talking about on the podcast? But before we get started, man, I just want to say thank you to everybody who's either been a guest or who shared feedback with me, man. Recently, I've really loved some of the feedback I got back, man, and it's really, really means something to me, man. So if you don't have a show idea, or you do want to be a guest, or you do have a show idea, or you just want to hit me back with some feedback, man, hit me up on those social medias, man. Blue Presents a Podcast on Facebook and Instagram, as well as Podcast of Blue on Twitter, man. For real, bro, I'm loving the interactions I'm having with people. I'm loving the fact that people are enjoying the content I'm putting out, man, and it really, really means a lot to me, man. So reach out. Let's have some more feedback, guys. Go on Apple Podcasts, man, and give me a rating, man. Tell me what I could be doing better. Tell me what I'm doing good, man, and tell me your favorite part of the show, and your least favorite part of the show, if you will. But this is a great show, man. I want you guys to sit back, relax. But before we get started, man, you have to listen to my boy AJ Pelletier tell you why you need to be listening to the Roads We've Traveled podcast. Thank you, guys.
Hey everyone, AJ Pelletier here, and I'm here to talk to you about my podcast, The Roads We've Traveled. It's a podcast where every week I talk to guests and friends from music, art, comedy, and more about their journeys through life, their struggles, their joys, and everything in between. You also get to know a little bit more about me and my journey as well. So if you like podcasts about good conversations about life, or maybe you're just looking to relate to somebody about some things you may be going through as well, then The Roads We've Traveled is the podcast for you. Subscribe to us today on Spotify, Apple, and Google Podcasts, or wherever you guys get your podcasts from. Check us out and subscribe to us on YouTube. And check us out at facebook.com/Roads We've Traveled podcast. All right, everyone. Thanks.
What's up, guys? Welcome to Blue Presents a podcast where I discuss all things music and how it affects my life. And on the line today, I have my man. We're going to get it right today, okay? Ryan Ibarra. Yay! Awesome. What's up, Ryan? How you doing?
Hey, how we doing, Blue?
All right, not too bad. And if anybody wants to know who the hell Ryan is the bass player for Worm Shepherd, man. The big homie Brandon Cooper, the big homie Devin to Embers, man. So Ryan's on here. We're going to talk about Ryan, man. So my first question for you, brother, is my question for everybody. Top 5 artists, man. Let me hear what you got, brother.
So this one I actually prepped for since I listened to the show. I was like, I know this is going to be asked. So it took me a week to find 5 artists.
Oh, wow. He took notes. Everyone took notes.
It is hard. That is. So first one is pretty easy. Slipknot. They kind of got me into metal. And Jim Root and Mick Thompson are the reason I play guitar. Mm-hmm. So that's an easy one. Second one's Behemoth. They kind of got me into that extreme metal. Yeah. And I have so much respect for Nurgle with what he's battled through, both health-wise and the BS over in Poland because of their views. So he's a big one. Third is Linkin Park. Okay. They got me into the rock scene. Before that, I was more into like the radio scene. In 7th, 8th grade, somebody burned me their Hybrid Theory album, and it was fantastic. Number 4, Shinedown. Most of their older stuff, I can fuck with the new stuff, but the older stuff is where it's at. And 5th one was the hardest because there's so many bands. Yeah. I picked Seether, kind of the same reason as Shinedown. Their older stuff has been fantastic, and their newer stuff actually be getting even heavier. Where a lot of bands are going softer, they're getting heavier, but to narrow it down to 5 is borderline impossible.
Yeah, man. And it's why I like that question. I like the question because it kind of gets you thinking, man. It kind of gets you flowing on the juices and your thought process, because I might throw some stuff at you, that you might not be ready for. Like when you said behemoth, man, I did a show where we talked about weird facts that are true. And one of the things I found out is your boy Nurgle is actually a certified, accredited museum curator. A lot of people don't know that. That is so fucking awesome that this dude who is, black metal as all hell can tell you, Swedish history and shit like that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's crazy. And if you actually read through the lyrics, a lot of his lyrics are historical. They have a lot of actual facts within that. And that's where it all comes from. It's awesome.
And that's a beautiful thing about music, man, is that we can take from our lives and things that we're passionate about and put that out there. With that being said, Ryan, let's talk about how the journey started for you. How did this Mexican kid, if I'm not mistaken, from California, get into metal? Which, I mean, it's California, so I'm sure there's a number of factors around there. Let's talk about that, man.
So I got into metal my freshman year of high school. I was playing football, and like I said before, I was listening to Linkin Park and Shinedown and all that, which I still love to this day. Mm-hmm. But my buddy was like, no, if you want to get ready before a game, you got to listen to this. And it was Slipknot self-titled. And after that, I was like, holy shit, what is this? This is chaotic.
Love it.
And then the next day, I was like, Mom, I need the new Slipknot CD. And she was like, no. And and I convinced her to get it for me, and that's kind of where the metal started was, Slipknot, and then it went to Mudvayne and, and then to Behemoth, Lorna Shore, Fit.
Yeah, I see behind you in there. That's what's up, man. And and that's once again, I tell the story about how I convinced my mom to buy me Iowa. Because I had gotten the self-titled album from a friend of mine who burned it for me in school. And then my cousin, okay, so my mom doesn't know this. Maybe she found out eventually. But at the time, my mom would buy me the edited versions on cassette because that's what they used to sell at Walmart. Yeah. And I would take them and give them to my cousin Joey. And my cousin Joey would just re-record it with all the cuss words, like Wu-Tang Clan Forever, Eminem's Marshall Mathers LP, like a bunch of records, until my mom caught me one day. She said, "Is that cousin? What the hell is that, boy? What you listening to?" Oh, man, she got in my ass. So let's talk about it, man. I thought you were originally from the Connecticut area. From what I understand, you're a Cali kid. Talk about growing up in California, brother.
California, born out there, was out there for 18 years. Shortly after my 18th birthday, I moved out here. Cali was fun. I mean, it was fun when I was younger. I don't like going back now as much. But
what part of California are you from, brother?
I'm from the Riverside County, so Suicide Silence, Carnifex. Okay. They're all from right there. And, we had a little theater called Showcase Theater in my town, Corona, where I grew up.
Corona,
California.
Oh my God! He just dropped the C word on my podcast. I'm just messing with you.
Yeah. But I mean, looking back, I don't know how I survived. I was that kid that wore jeans and a hoodie 365 days a year, and it was 112 degrees.
I was about to say, I know the heat out there is something brutal.
Yeah, it was crazy. But a lot of my youth was playing baseball. I really didn't get into the music side until high school.
Okay, so talk about that, man. What was one of your first bands you got into, and what was that like?
The first band that I got into was probably Steve Miller Band. My mom played that shit a lot, and I think that was one of the first CDs I bought myself, was their greatest hits, which doesn't make any sense because she owned it too, so we had two in the house, but whatever. What the hell did I know?
Hey, you gotta have your own copy, man. Gotta have your own copy.
It's mine now.
Exactly.
That, and then somehow I found that my mom had Eminem's Marshall Mathers LP.
Whoa.
And I snagged that one night when they weren't paying attention. Hi, Mom. And that's when I fell in love with like Eminem and more of the violent, brutal style. I think that kind of plays into when I got into the metal and that, because it was, it's different genre, but it still hit, the same, and it hit in the right places for sure.
Yeah. So you said you didn't really get into music scene in high school, man. Did you start out by joining a band, or did you start going to shows? What was that like in California?
When I was, younger, my great grandfather gave me an old guitar that I played for about a week, and then my fingers hurt, so I stopped. And then in high school, after my buddy gave me the Slipknot self-title album, I was like, that sounds like fun. I want to do that.
Yeah.
And I, asked my parents for an electric guitar. Ended up getting it, and I think "Wait and Bleed" might have been the first song I actually learned to play. And then, yeah. No, I don't know who the hell starts with Slipknot as their first song to play instead of like Nirvana. But
hey, man, if you really think about it, there's a lot of these bands today. Some of these artists were listening to groups like NSYNC and the Backstreet Boys, and now do this heavy style. Hey, man, and we all started somewhere.
Hey, I'm right there with them. I still have them on my phone, and I still will jam that shit in the car. I don't care.
Yeah, it's that late 90s, early 2000s sound,
oh,
man.
Yeah.
Because if you really think about it, that was so heavily dominated by like new metal, pop music, and like TRL, basically. You know what I'm saying? I know that for a lot of people, that shaped their musical opinions and genres and stuff like that. And then from what that came out of to what now is top music, when you think about We Came as Romans and Under Oath and all those other kind of bands, probably came from that whole thing.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, and it's crazy to just think about that stuff. So
no, it definitely is.
No, for real. So how did we make our way to Connecticut, man? How did you get into Connecticut? You were in Cali for 18 years. How did we get to Connecticut, man? And what was that like?
So, during my senior year of high school, my dad got a promotion to, here in Trumbull, Connecticut. And he took it, and I stayed behind. I didn't want to leave high school, with a trimester or however the hell high school works now, with a little bit left. So I stayed. I actually was living with my girlfriend at that time for a little bit, graduated, and unfortunately the relationship didn't last, and trying to be out there by myself. I lived with, some family members here and there, but no, mom, dad, brother, sister there to, be there for the support on the breakup, and just in general. Like, I'm a family guy, so it was hard even before that. So once that happened, I think it was just a sign that maybe I need to be with my parents still. I'm 18 years old. I'm still, I'm an adult, but I still need my parents. So I came out to Connecticut with all intentions of getting myself financially stable. And then moving back, because I was playing in a band at the time when I moved to Connecticut, and I started going to school, got a job, met some friends, met Mark, and we started writing, and I'm still here.
Yeah, man.
With no intentions of leaving.
Yeah, man. Yeah, so talk about that relationship that developed. Did you meet Mark first, and what was that experience like?
So I met Mark through his at time girlfriend.
Hey, I see that crack open real quick. He's trying to be
that crack.
I was gonna say he's trying to be quiet, but he's
cracked another beer.
Hey, man, do what you got to do, brother.
Hey, it's my Saturday. So
no, I don't blame you.
Myself and Mark's girlfriend at the time were taking the same college course at Naugatuck Valley. And she had just mentioned to somebody in class, hey, my boyfriend's starting the band and, needs a bassist and a drummer, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, well, I play guitar, so if he needs a guitarist, let me know. He was like, well, he's got two, so he's fine, but I'll let him know. The next day, she goes, hey, he wants to meet you. I'm like, okay, cool. I work at, Kmart in Watertown. Let's have a meet there, because at that time, that's where they were living. So they came in, we met, we hung out for a little bit, exchanged numbers. went over to their place one night and we wrote a song and a half just chilling in the garage for what was then Chaos Beneath the Surface, which is going way back. And since then, Mark and I have been, he's been my biffle. And, he's definitely BFF.
I love it. I love it.
Yeah, we've gone through ups and downs just like everybody else in the world, but there's not a doubt in my mind that if anything happened, he'd be one of the first people running into me. When that really is what matters when it comes to my friends. So, and then since then, Chaos Beneath the Surface we did for quite a few years, and then we broke up a couple years later. Seconds from Disaster comes, and now I'm playing bass in the band that is. I can't even believe I'm playing bass in the band. So.
So let's talk about that time in Seconds, man, because, that episode with Mark was a little controversial. I got hit up a couple times by some people that asked some questions, man. I was getting a little scared there for a second. Where, this isn't a drama podcast. I'm not about spreading that drama. But when we talk about musical journeys, we have to talk about, bands that we were in before so we know where we've been to where we are right now. Is there anything you'd like to add to that whole Seconds thing, man? Or there's some things you wish you guys did different? Or some positives you took away from that situation?
Before Mark decided to leave, and I will say Mark owned a lot of the bullshit that happened.
Okay.
And it was true. He had his own things he was going on with. And, shit happens, and being in a band is fun at one point, and most of the time it kind of sucks because it's like having 4 different girlfriends that everybody knows about and everybody's okay with it. And when something happens between, 2 people, it affects the rest of the band, regardless if you're involved or not. So, I'm not saying that it happened in that band, but any type of attention causes issues throughout the entire band. Every band goes through it. I know you guys have. Brandon and I have talked about it.
Yeah.
You and I have talked about it.
Yeah, of course.
But, Mark owns his reasoning for leaving, and I give him mad props for that. For me, I was already on the verge of leaving prior to, and it had nothing to do with the guys or the music. It was more of like, okay, I just hit 30 years old. I'm working at Waterbury Hospital making, okay money, but could be doing better. I need to focus on myself. And as much as I want music to be my career, I understand the difficulty behind that. So I had the opportunity to go full time and pick up extra hours, and which would have caused an issue with the band. And I had already thought about, maybe it's best for me to take a step back and let them do their thing so I can take care of me and my wife. And, we had just bought a house not too long before that. So there's a lot of shit going on.
Yeah, man, for real. So, you got to make those hard decisions.
Yeah. And when Mark decided to leave, I was like, you know what? I think this is just a sign. Maybe it's my time to go. And after Mark left, I did consider staying on with Seconds. Mark brought me in. Kind of felt weird if I wanted to stay on, but I thought about it. I thought hard, and I was like, nah, it's not going to be the same without Mark. He kind of made the sound. Chauncey's a good vocalist, and would have done a really good job if we had elected to go that way. But
yeah,
with everything going on in my life, I think it was just a sign that, hey, time to make the move.
Yeah, man, and that's
kind of lost the passion.
Yeah, man, that's the thing that happens sometimes. We love this thing called music, man. We love what it gives us. We love the feeling of performing live. But sometimes you have to make those really hard decisions, and some people go blindly until the literal wheels and floor fall out from underneath them before they realize that they need to make that change, not only just for themselves, but for their family, man. And it sounds like you're real dedicated to your family, man. Let's talk a little bit about your family, man. It sounds like a real strong family between you guys, and you came all the way from California, how was that whole situation growing up? Mom, dad? It sounds like they gave you a little push in music. Mom apparently is an Eminem fan. What's up with that?
I just found out she actually doesn't mind Slipknot, which blew my fucking mind. When I was growing up, she didn't like the swearing and, kind of like what you were saying that, she bought me the Limp Bizkit hot dog flavored water. What is it? Hot dogs? Chocolate Starfish hot dog flavored water.
Yeah.
Yeah, good album. But she bought me the Walmart edition. So when you said that, I was like, oh my God, that's exactly what happened to me too. And she didn't like it, me growing up. She just didn't like it. And then now that I was like, she goes, oh, did you see that Slipknot put on a show in Iowa? I was like, what the fuck? She's goes, I was like, since when do you like, yeah, what the hell? Well, I'll backtrack a little bit. They moved to Iowa in 2009. Okay. So she was like, hey, they're here in Iowa. I'm like, what? How the hell? Why do you care? Well, now that I've liked them before. I just didn't want you growing up listening to all the swear words and the violent. I'm like, oh, that did a great job. And so, they were, I have mom tattooed on me. My dad, it's technically my stepdad, but he was there since I can remember. So he helped raise me. So that's my dad. He was my best man at my wedding.
Oh man.
My biological father and I are building a relationship right now. It's been on and off for years, but we're growing one, and it's strong. So that's looking good. But really, it was the push that they gave me, not just in music, just in everything. I would love to watch football. Didn't want to play it. He goes, just try it one day. Just go try. And 4 years later, I played football through high school. And they let me try what I wanted to try and let me fail when I needed to fail. And was there to pick me up, but didn't deter me from wanting to do what I wanted to do.
That's awesome, man. Sounds like they were great, supportive parents that were there to help you through. And I like what you said there about your stepdad. You recognize him. I know sometimes, being a step parent myself, and then, having my mom been in relationships where they were a step parent, I know sometimes that position can be kind of hard. And the fact that you accept that, I'm sure he appreciates that relationship you have with him, man. That's an awesome thing, man. And like I said, it's one of those things where we don't really think about that as it pertains to the journey, but the support that you need and just trying things, man. And that's what I'm always like super proud of with my kids. I'm always supportive and proud to see what they want to do next. My daughter, that's my stepdaughter, but that's my daughter because I've been raising her for the last 3 years. I've been there late night, dropping her off, picking her up from drama class and stuff like that. Her being 10 and she's already into those kind of things, so it's kind of cool to be there and be supportive and support, your child and want to see them grow as people, man. So that's super cool, man. I like that you told that story for real, man. That's super cool.
Yeah. So, and like you said, that's your daughter. You'll never hear me call my stepdad. Exactly. He's been there since I can remember. That's my dad. And it's funny. I'm looking at your name on here. Yeah. That's the same last name as my stepdad. My
Rivera Garcia. Oh my God. That's crazy.
Garcia. Yeah.
Yeah. That's crazy. No, that's cool, man. So, we talked about seconds, man. Let's talk about the new project, man. Let's talk about Worm Shepherd, brother. And let me tell you, man, I've got my own little pipeline of little details I get every day from Brandon when we talk or whenever we get a chance to talk, man, because we've been kind of busy back and forth, man. Let's talk about your involvement in the project, how you got in, man, and what are your feelings about the direction you guys are going, man? Because every time I hear a track or something that's unfinished, man, it just sounds like brutality is coming and people don't know it yet.
I can't, like I said earlier, I can't believe I'm even in this band with the musicians and the talent that's here. I'm like, are you sure you want me in your band? One day in January, out of the blue, Brandon called me. We had been talking and, ever since we met and when he was in Years of Vengeance or Years of Vanessa.
Tears from Vanessa.
Yeah, Tears from Vanessa.
Yeah, Tears from Vanessa.
We've all kind of all talked. And, when you guys were doing Misery Chord, I think it was right when you guys were looking for a bassist. I was like, dude, if you need one, I'll fill in. Like, that seconds is going to be my main, but I'll do bass if you need it. And he was like, hey, we just picked up Josh, which is a significantly better pick than I would have been. And he has better stage presence. That dude's insane.
Shout out Josh Styles.
Josh. Yeah. Hell yeah. So he called me in January and he was like, yo, I got this project. We're starting. Like, today's day one. We need a bassist. I know you mentioned you want to play bass for Misery Chord, but we have the position open. And I was like, oh shit! Like, all right, let me think about it. Because after the seconds breakup, I was like, I think I'm done. Like, I want to play, but I don't know if I want to, write and go open that whole bag of fucking worms.
Yeah.
And I was driving to work, got off the phone with him, called my wife. Hey, this is what's going on. The nice thing is it's the talent in the band is ridiculous. The bad thing is I have to buy all new gear. Prior to this, I was a guitarist.
Yeah.
I'm looking at 4 guitars in my room. And she was like, well, okay, let's see how much this is going to cost. And do you really want to do it? And I was like, with the people that I have in here, this is going to be like a make or like it's either going to break or it's going to make.
Yeah.
So I texted him back and I was like, I'm in. Give me a little bit. Let me grab a bass because I didn't have a bass. That day while at work, bought a new bass, bought everything I needed to do. And yeah, I was like, let's do this shit. And we had the meeting with Devin. Devin texted me and he was like, are you in? Like in? Like, hell yeah, let's do this. Okay, we want to play like Lorna Shore. And I'm like, dude, that's like my second favorite band.
Yeah.
Slipknot is Lorna Shore. And okay, well, can you play that stuff? I don't know, but I'll try my damnedest to play this shit because it's going to be fun. And then however many, 7 months later, we're, just about finished with the album.
Yeah.
I think it was today or yesterday, our drummer sent over what could be our last track. Holy shit. When I listen to these things, I'm like, how the fuck did I get involved in this in a good way? Like, I can't.
Yeah.
I can't even believe it. And I feel so. I want to say, I feel great that Brandon thought of me to add me to this. Devin, after talking to him, showing him some of the videos of me playing guitar and whatnot, and he was like, "Yeah, no, you're in." And then Leo, our drummer, is just an absolute animal.
Yeah.
I can't. It's somebody that can double kick above 300, beats per minute is insane. That's ridiculous.
And yeah, I've heard some things about him. I'm hoping that'll be the next one I get on the show, man. So if he's listening, man, I'd sure love to have you on, man. Yeah,
I'll send him a message too, but get him on here. But he's even younger than Devin, which makes no sense, and it kills me.
And
I'm
that's
the oldest person in this band, and he's fucking stupid young.
And I'm gonna tell you what, man, Devin has such a good personality, attitude, vision for the music, man. To be so young and not only gifted as a vocalist, but to be gifted mentally the way that Devin is, man. You can definitely see, and I think that's the one thing some people need to recognize, man. Sometimes being in a band is just more than just being your position. It's having the ability to have that vision, man. So, in that being said, man, I think, you provide a passion and a funness to the band, man, because you were always, anytime I've ever played a show with you guys in Seconds from Disaster, you guys always
whatever the fuck it was called.
Yeah, exactly. It was always good to see you, man, because you were that ball of fun, man. You were that, like, let's have some fun, let's fuck some shit up, man. And then when you were on stage, man, you came alive, brother, and that's something really, really cool to see. And like you said, man, it's like almost like a dream team of of passionate musicians coming together, man. And you guys are really writing some stuff. And I keep telling everybody, man, stop sleeping on Worm Shepherd. Get on them now before they blow up and they don't know nobody no more.
I mean, I don't know how much Brendan's actually told you, but we have potentially at minimum 2 guest vocalists on this album.
Yes.
Holy shit, the names that are going to be featured on here.
Yeah, I heard a couple, man.
Oh my God.
Yeah. Anyways, let's not say no more. We'll wait till you guys drop it on them. And
no spoilers.
Exactly.
No.
Yeah. But yeah, man, no, I mean, like I said, it's good company to be involved with this kind of stuff, man.
For sure.
And these guys, and like I said, Brandon does things 110% or not at all. Devin, in conversations I've had with Devin, man, like I said, the ingenuity in Billy, and then your boy Lou, man, I can't wait to talk with him, man. He sounds, he's classically trained. He's in school for just that. And I think that's awesome that you guys have found this nucleus that already, even in its infancy, has so much passion, so much hype behind it, but not hype in the sense of like it's not going to deliver, and hype in the sense that people are really ready to see what you guys have. What are you hoping comes out of this, man, besides maybe, who knows, this could be your launch into that full-time musician period, you know?
Well, that I think is the end game for everybody, the full-time musician, touring musician, but
it's going to take
for
time.
me, I want to play.
Yeah,
of course, it's going to take time. I want to play. Like I said, after Seconds, I really considered, stopping. It takes a lot out of you to be in a band, and I think that's what a lot of people don't see is the behind the scenes of what it is to be a band. Yeah, sure, it's fun to play on stage, but the other stuff sucks most of the time.
Like you said, it's like having
it's
5
expensive.
girlfriends. Yeah.
I can easily say I've put way more into my gear than I've ever made on any music combined, which I'm fine with. I made the decision to do that, but for me, I just want to play. Having the group of guys that we have, we talk almost on the daily. We joke around, and obviously Brandon's a fucking goofball. It's fun. I have a feeling that our shows are going to probably be a little different than what Seconds was from. When I played in Seconds, I always heard Killswitch Engage. I think it was their guitarist was like, "We're not that band that doesn't smile on stage. We're going to go and have fucking fun, and you're going to know it."
Yeah,
and that's being on stage is my drug. There's no feeling like that after you hit that first chord. Any nerves you have are just gone. I just want to get up there and play, and with these guys and this talent, I think I'm going to be playing for much bigger crowds than the 6 people at Cook's Cafe.
I was about to say, when your vocalist comes out at the Webster and puts on the performance that he did with Swarm, man, I think you guys are going to be just fine in that department.
The crazy thing about that is he had been working in talks with Dave from Swarms, and it wasn't until we got to the venue and minutes before they actually went on stage that he knew he was going on stage. At first, the Webster was like, "We're not doing any guests." So he's like, "What the fuck? I've been practicing, whatever. This is going to have a good time." And we're driving in the car. Me and Brandon are in the car. Devin texts both of us. We're on, like we're going. I'm like, what the fuck? And then we get there, and they're like, "Oh, we don't know yet." And 5 minutes before Signs came on, it was, I'm going up. I'm doing this song with Dave, and it was. And for him to come out and bang that out with just 20 minutes earlier, he was like, "Whatever, let's just enjoy the show." Yeah. And then he gets up there and just flips the switch and becomes the monster he is.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, it was awesome.
Yeah, Signs of the Swarm, that video, man, it was really, really cool. And I know you guys got a lot of looks at because he was on that stage with those guys, and to be honest with you, he fit right in there, man, for real. It was really, really cool to see him.
It was pretty intense, and it was cool to see. I looked it up on YouTube because I think it was YouTube. Brandon posted it somewhere, and another person that was at the show posted saying Devin to Embers with Signs of the Swarm.
Yeah,
I'm like, what? Like some random ass person at the show knew who Devin was.
Yeah,
and posted the video, and I'm like, oh my god, this kid is 19 years old.
Yep.
People know who he is, and I'm in a band with this kid. Like,
that's cool, man. That's cool, man. So
it is.
Yeah, so man, and that's a good thing, like I said, it's going to be good to see where you guys, how things go for you guys. But in that being said, with your own personal life, man, and you just got a new job, you were telling me, man, congratulations, brother. That's really, really cool for you, man. Hopefully you can balance all that stuff, because that job you got's kind of on the serious side there,
Yeah, no, that's my one fear right now is this is, the band's going in a positive light. Like,
yeah,
I can't see it really stopping, but at the same time, this job, as a CO, it's tough, and I can't take the days off that I necessarily need or want. So there's going to be a lot of rough times coming for me when it comes to balancing the two, but hopefully I'll be able to figure that out.
Hell yeah, man. No, I believe in you, brother, man. Like I said, man, you're a different kind of dude, man. You bring so much positivity and energy and just having fun, man. Those guys need that, man, because, Brandon can be kind of hard on himself sometimes, but he's a great guitar player, and I'm sure Devin has that same work ethic even as young as he is. And, like I said, I don't know too much about Lou, but I know he's on that level of being just nasty drummer, and that's really, really sick for you, man. But like I said, I think you provide something that those guys need, somebody to loosen this shit up. You know what I'm saying? Can't be all, brutal and heavy all the time. But before we get out of here, man, is there anything else you want to talk about, brother? Anything you want to shine a light on, man? Because there, like I said, there's some people, like I said, I didn't know you were from California, man. There's some things there, man. That's cool. The scene over there, like I said, the scene between here and Florida is completely different. I'm sure the scene in California between here is completely different,
Yeah. I mean, when I was growing up, it was, deathcore galore.
Mm-hmm.
Suicide Silence was from the town right next to us. The band that I mentioned earlier, the drummer was friends with half the band when they first put out their EP. And, I remember seeing Job for a Cowboy when they just released their EP Doom at that. That's crazy, but I'm not sure how the scene is right now. I know one of my good friends, his name's Andrew. He still lives out in Cali. He's in a band called Wolves. I'll send you some shit.
Okay.
And it is death metal meets Dimmu Borgir meets breakdowns meets holy shit.
Yeah. No, that's cool,
so,
man.
We're excited. Yeah, I'm excited for them.
No, that's cool, man. And, like I said, man, that's the beautiful thing about it, man. We still keep in contact with those people from those scenes, and we loved what we did then, man. And that's a positive thing, man. So, but Ryan, man, I want to thank you so much for being on the show today, brother. I appreciate it, man. And if anybody wants to know where they can find Ryan, man, you better check out them boys in Worm Shepherd, brother. You know what I'm saying? Damn, can you hear me, brother? Uh-oh. I think I lost you. I may or may not having some slight technical difficulties.
Yeah. I think we both sound like robots.
Ah, that's funny, man.
I'm leaning closer to my microphone, like it's gonna help me hear anything.
So I'm gonna leave this in because I really don't give a fuck, man. We had a good conversation, man. But I just want to say thank you for being on the show. Shit. And it wouldn't be
yeah, man. Thank you for having me, man.
Yeah, it wouldn't be a Blue Presents if there wasn't something fucking this shit up. Oh man, that's crazy, man.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah. So thank you so much for coming on.
Welcome to 2020.
Yeah, man. Thank you for coming on, man. Check out Worm Shepherd before they blow the fuck up and shit gets fucked up, man. I love you, brother. It's good to see you, man. I can't wait to start seeing you at some shows, hopefully.
Love you too, buddy.
All right, man.
Sure.
Be easy.
Yeah.